What's up? Come on in. Just getting started. I'm just setting up everything. Let me make sure I got sound. Just setting up everything. Let me make sure I got sound. All right, I got some sound. What's up? Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So, for the ones that know me, y'all know I do not go live on the weekend. I do not. And the only time that I go live, this whole platform, like I tell everybody, this platform is just to put a message out and get off. I don't promote anything much on here. I don't do too much anything. It was a business a site, but I don't have a personal social media or anything like that. So I just have this platform where I use it just for what it is. I come on here, put a message out, and then oh, I need some lotion. I'm cold. It's cold out here. But anyway, so come on in. So I just put a message out. That is it. I don't come on here to play with nobody. I ain't playing with nobody kids. And I don't come on. And if I don't have anything to say, I don't come on. And like I said, I usually do not come on the weekday. Matter of fact, hold one. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. On Do Not Disturb. And I went and got me some lotion too, because my hands is ashy. What's up, guys? So, like I said, I don't come on the weekend unless I got something to talk about, right? And even on the weekday, I don't come on unless I got something to talk about. I'm not one of the ones that's gonna come on here and just trying to make friends and hee ha ha ha. I got a word for y'all. So listen. So I've been in my studies trying to figure out because I want to turn it into a teaching moment. But the way things are happening right now, I usually come on at 8 p.m. on a weekday. I want to make sure, first off, let me make sure I still got sound. Okay, I still got sound. But times are changing now, being that now I have to go back in the office and different things like that, and then trying to do my workout. So I got to pick another time, and I want to change it to teaching, more like a Bible study, but more of a teaching thing, right? And the reason why I want to go that route is because then it'll give me a once a week I can come on and dedicate to you guys, and we can get some stuff and learn some different things. Now, so I was sitting here in my study trying to come up with classes, and I said, well, I had taught this one class, and I was talking about women standing in their grace. And it was a pretty cool class, and I loved it. I loved it. The problem was I had just started going live. So since I started going live, I didn't really know how to go. So I didn't know how everything went, and I was trying to, do it a certain kind of way, be professional and all. And I was like, you know what, scratch that. I'm going to just do what I need to do and say what needs to be said and get on up off of this thing. So I don't let nothing faze me anymore. Now, but I want to talk about women again. Why is it so important to talk about women? It's because women are not appreciated. Why are they not appreciated? Well, that different stories for different folks, right? Some people feel that women are not appreciated because we talk too much, or we act like men now, or the case may be. And it's not a thing of me trying to tell you how something should be, or how you should treat women, or this, that, and the third. I just believe that all men and women, you're going to treat people how you believe they should be treated. I'm trying to get this angle right. Treat people how you believe they should be treated. So in your household, how you grew up, however you seen your parent, your father, your mother, or whatever the case may be. And I've known within times that a lot of men that disrespect their mother, 9 times out of 10, they're going to disrespect you. But that's neither here nor there, because I'm not the judge of that. That is not my business. I don't care about all that. So But I did want to talk to you guys, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it. If more people join, great. You guys like, share, follow so more people can come in. And I got to make sure I don't get restricted, because sometimes I forget where I'm at and then I get restricted. So let's go for it, right? So let's go ahead. You guys like, share, and follow. So grace. So the thing that I taught was women standing in their grace. And, you know, for me, it's like, what do you think of when someone says a woman standing in her grace? What do you think about that? What does that even mean? What does that even sound like? Well, I know for me, looking at grace, period, I would look at grace as like, oh, a woman that's gracious or standing in grace, she just floats. She smell good. She smell like vanilla, you know, I don't know. She's just beautiful. You know, her hair sways. Everything that she does it with a purpose. She's kind. She's great. Thank you guys. I ask you guys thank you for the likes. I ask that you continue to like and share, get others in here, and follow. Okay. Also, if you follow me, I'm following you back. That's just how I operate. So anyway. And so that's how I looked at a woman with grace when they say a woman standing in grace, right? But because our minds are capped at just what it is. Hey, Nana. So because our minds are capped just where it is, it's right there. And we can think no further than what the dictionary tells us that gracious woman, grace mean, and a woman standing in grace mean or look like. And so we look at the women that's around us, right? So if I was to compare what is a gracious woman, then some people just, you know, got families, everybody just ghetto. I don't even like to say that word, but we all just who we are, you know? So the one bougie auntie, you would compare her to being grace, you know, what grace look like, because this is what you know. So we cap ourselves off of the things we see and the things we read, right? The things we read, the things we hear, and just what surrounds us. So with that, you know, we never look further or put a definition on it to really find out what it means. We just leave it as that. Well, for me, I like to break everything down. And the reason why I like to study and I like to research is because everything has a deeper meaning to it. So when you look at everything in the physical, you know, you're capped out. But when you start looking at things in the spiritual, it's like you can go deeper in that definition. And for a long time, I've always been this way, but people didn't know how to receive me. So now that I have this platform, it is like right up my alley, because now I can break it down and I can teach the way I want to teach. So let's talk about it. A woman standing in grace. So I had to break down what is grace first. Grace is simple elegance of refinement or movement, right? Okay. You know, you hear those words and they click because you either know what they mean or you can compare it to something, this, that, and the third. But let's look at it. Simple elegance or refinement of movement. Okay, so I was like, all right, cool. Well, what's refinement? The process of removing impurities or unwanted elements from a substance. Okay, that sounds good. But what's impurities? So you see how I go down the rabbit hole? And impurities, the quality or condition of being impure. So what is impure? So we got impurities, and it says impure. So, okay, I asked you what is impurities. You told me it's impure. So what is impure? It is mixed with foreign matter, adulterated, simple terms, dirty. And so when you get to the root of everything, and then you look back to what grace stands from anyway, simple elegance or refinement. It's been refined. In order to be gracious, in order to stand in your grace, you have to be refined. You have to be all the old you, right? All the things that you've been through, the hurt, the pain, all these things have to be cleansed up out of you. Before you can stand in grace, you have to be impure. You have to be broken all the way down to the word impure, which means you have to be rid of all the dirt. Didn't say you got to be perfect. You just got to be rid of all the dirt, meaning that hurt you got to let go. That self-love healing, you got to start. In order for you to stand just like that, because when you look at grace, you can compare it, and thank you for the follow. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really read right now. So all of these things, I look at it, okay, well, God. So the closest thing to God is like grace. That's why he said he gives you grace, because you're never going to be perfect, right? He gives you grace, because grace means that you have been refined, forgiven. You are able to operate in your purpose because he refined you. Now we're talking about women standing in grace, right? Let me put my glasses on so I can get real focused, right? There we go. Thank y'all for the likes, shares, and follows. Bring others in, right? And anybody I missed, I'm sorry. So then, like most women, we look at ourselves as if we're not good enough to stand in grace. And that's because of what we expect grace to be, what we come to terms with grace, what grace is. This is what grace means to me, so that means I'm not good enough, because you look at grace as, because it says God gives you grace. But what if I told you, God forgive you for all that. He refines you. He make you become a better you. Because he wants you in your purpose, because it's your destiny. It's your destiny, so therefore he's going to do what he's supposed to do, which is clean you up. Like that Orbit's gum, clean you up. Right? So allow him to clean you up. Don't force it. I'll give you a little testimony. So I've been fighting with God for so long, all my life. And I've been doing the whole thing of what I'm supposed to be doing, right? I do what I'm supposed to do. I treat people kindly. I do right by people. I don't mistreat them. I do what I'm supposed to do. But God wanted me to start operating in my purpose, but I was operating in my passion, didn't understand that that was not my purpose, because what the enemy will try and do is throw things along the way, because passions are things that you pick up along the way. And when you pick these things up along the way, you fall in love with it. You become passionate about it. And if you become passionate about it, then the enemy can say, okay, now she won't look for her purpose. And if she don't look for her purpose, then I can continue to control her. And if I can continue to control her, then she'll never escape the matrix that I created. Remember, he's the Prince of Air. This is his land. She'll never escape the matrix. So when people think like the matrix, and let me clear this up and let me say this, because you have a lot of people that are spiritual, and it is my job to make sure that I don't knock anybody, the newer generation, to bring the older and the newer and bring it together, because we're all talking about the same thing. We're just going about it differently. And the thing is, if you don't catch the ones that's going spiritual, if you don't catch them in time, they'll go down the wrong path, which is the void. What is the void, Coach Nye? Well, the void is when you break out of the matrix, which is the Prince of Air, which is his land, his kingdom. When you break out of the matrix, you get into the void, which means that, okay, I no longer believe in everything that was taught to me. I no longer believe in the religion. In the religion. I no longer believe in all these things that was taught to me. But I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Everything is different. Everything is weird. That's because you have awakened. Everything is weird. Everything is weird. So you don't know where you belong or where you're supposed to be. So you sit in the void. And in the void is where, what they say, ancestors, okay? Which is the spirits sit. All the different spirits. We're not just talking about God and different. I'm trying to give you a mindset of what's going on in the void. And all these things are offered to you. And all these different things, because now you're using your imagination. Now you're using your own mind. Now you're starting to create what your reality. What is my reality? And it can become whatever you attach yourself to. So that's the void. That's why you have to be very careful. So it's not an actual thing, but I'm trying to get you to understand what that means. So we're going to talk about that another day. And we might talk about it today. I don't know. But I want to finish this up with the woman, right? So in this time of with God fixing us and making us become the best version of ourselves, because we're not operating in our passion no more. Now God is calling us to our purpose. And for me, it was like, God, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. He said, no, you're not. So now he told me to get TikTok, right? I get TikTok. I get all the social medias. I never had no Snapchat. I never had no any of that. Like I had a Facebook, never did an Instagram, never did any of these things. He said, this is what you need to do. And I said, okay, I got all these things. What do I do with it next? Because I'm not a social media chick. I could care less about anybody's business other than my own because I'm that chick and that's all I worry about. So he said, okay, well, fine. So I brought my business to the social media platform and I started teaching and, about physical fitness because that was my passion. But then he was like, no, sis. Hold on, you guys. You guys like, share, follow, okay? Like, share, follow, invite others. So he said, he don't call me sis. He called me baby girl because that's my daddy. So he said, hold on, daughter. This is what you're going to talk about. All of a sudden, my mouth just started moving and things were coming out of it that I didn't plan. I planned this to talk about and I'm talking about something else. And so what he was trying to show me is I'm teaching you how to operate in your purpose. I'm putting you where you're supposed to be in this time and in this moment because I have called you. I had my Lazarus moment. He has called me. I walked out the tomb like, hey, what am I supposed to be doing? And he directed me where I needed to go. See, all he did was call my name. He didn't call me by the name that I was birthed. That's when I started operating in my purpose. He called me by the name that he gave me after my awakening, which was Coach Nye. See, I gave myself a whole new name, which was Malia. She's a queen. I talk about it in my book. If you don't have the book, look at my link, look on my bio. It's there. Trinity Walk to Self-Love. It is on Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble website. Get it. So I gave myself a name, but he said, that's not your name. Your name is going to be Coach Nye. See, he never really changed your name all the way. Remember, it was how he did Sarah and Abraham. It was Abram, then Abraham, Sarah. You see what I'm saying? He don't have to change your name all the way. He just needs you to understand that, hey, this little thing that I'm about to put in front of your name, Coach Nye, that is your job. That is your purpose. You are important. You are a master at what you're about to do. It don't have to be a big name. It's just that I needed to identify that I'm not the old person anymore and who I am today. So when it started coming up, then I realized that he was pushing me more towards ministry. He was pushing me more into like, hey, get out there and lead my sheep. Get out there and do what I tell you to do. Get out there and I need you to be an apostle. I need you to do these things because it's in this time and in this hour that things are going on in the world that you need to be able to break down. You need to grab the new babes that just came straight out the womb like, hey, I'm connected to the divine and I'm reaching out to the universe. Let me explain something to you. I'm going to get back on topic, but it seemed like we got to talk about something else. They call God universe. And the reason why they call God universe, they don't even understand why. See, we put a cap on who God is. God said, I am, meaning that I am this, I am whatever you say your God is, I am that because I created that. That's what I am mean. But the reason why they say universe, because we put a cap on God. And what did we do with God? We told him that, hey, you a certain color, you're female or male, you do got blonde hair, you don't have blonde hair. You got hair of wool, you pick this person, you pick that person. See, we put caps on him and told him what we're going to do. And that's what he talks about even in Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah, he's upset about some things. He talks about our ancestors, how our ancestors ruined the thing, right? And now he has to restore a thing. See, we're being punished because of our ancestors ruined a thing. Now let's talk about that. See, our ancestors used to sit and worship. Now you got the new generation saying, I want to connect with my ancestors. Well, I'm not trying to connect with them because we're still living out what they chose to do and broke the law and the covenant between him and us. And in this time, we're fixing that in this time. In this time, it is time for us to fix that. That's why in this hour, in this time, the awakening has happened. So now the new generation say universe. So in universe, guess what that means? It does not mean he has a color, does not mean he has anything, does not mean, it just means that he is all knowing and he is I am and he is powerful and they're recognizing who he is versus what he is. And see, with our ancestors, we became of what he is. And then we separated by religion. Do you understand? So that's why it's so important in this hour to know what it is. So anyway, let's get back on topic. Maybe we'll touch back bases on it, right? So what we were talking about is women standing in our grace. For the ones that didn't come on, Hey, for the ones that just came on, I'm gonna start back. So we started off with grace. What is the definition of grace? It is a simple elegance, right? It is refinement of movement. I had to break down what is refinement. Thank y'all for the like, shares, and follow. Bring others on. I had to break down refinement, and refinement means the process of removing impurities, unwanted elements in substance. Impurities, I broke that down, and is a condition of being impure. And impure, breaking it down, is simple terms, dirty. So to be a woman of grace, you can't be dirty. You have to be refined, right? And refined, and when I say dirty, I mean spiritually. I mean unclean, meaning that you are out here doing what we do best, whatever it is we want. We're sinning and doing everything because I'm trying to figure out why God chose me, but I'm here. So now we look at, well, how can we stand in grace because we're not perfect? He said we can't be of sin. We can't be of this. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, come to me, my daughter, and I'm going to put you through a refinement process. It's kind of like Esther before she got ready to see her king. Remember, for months, half the year, they had to do it a certain kind of way, bathe and this type of thing. And then the next, she had to do it this way. They had to do it this way to be ready for the king, right? The same way with God. God's whole thing is, hey, you come to me and I'm going to refine you. I'm going to clean you because I need you to operate in your purpose. And that's where I came with the whole thing of, okay, the enemy will have you trying to operate in your passion, right? Because you don't know what the purpose of passion is. And when you go into the void, after the awakening, you go into the void, you pick up passions. Passions are things that you pick up along the way in life. Now, we're caught up, right? So in order to become gracious, you have to allow God to refine you, meaning don't fight him. If he tell you that this is what you're going to do it. You can't go to him and say, God, tell me what my purpose is. And then he guides you to it and you like, no, that's just, that ain't right. Nope, this is my thing. No, you have to listen, and you can't listen with your hurt ears. It's impossible to listen with your hurt ears. You have to listen with a clear mindset. You can't listen to God with your mind cluttered, with your hurt feelings, with your emotions. You have to be clear mind, sound mind, to be able to hear and listen to God. So what I notice is a woman is perfectly created in God, right? And we're perfectly created because when he took us from Adam, guess what? We were made whole, but we're going to talk about that. So, but when you read in theology and different even in the book, in the Bible or whatever, we're always put last. And why are we put last? Thank y'all for the like, shares, and follow. Come on in, invite others. So why are we put last? I don't know. That's something that I can't, and it make me think like, well, man wrote the Bible. So, and then when I think like that, I start challenging myself like, well, what's real? What's not real? But I stay focused until God tell me to look at that, because there's some secrets in the Bible. I'm going to give y'all some gems before I leave, right? So anyway, in Genesis, we were the last to be created, So here's the thing. He had created everything, did everything you needed to do. And he said, hey, son, you need somebody to hang out with. You kind of lost. You need something. You need a partner. You need a battle buddy. You need somebody. So I'm going to create who? He created us. And when he created us, he molded us and did everything he needed to do. But one thing that was a little bit different, see, he broke Adam down. Cut him open, broke him down, put him through a sleep. So let's look at it. Adam had to go through surgery. Let's look at it in the times that we live in now. Adam had to go through surgery. See, he was the first one to birth. Did y'all hear me? He was the first one to birth. So, but he couldn't natural birth like us. He had to go through the surgery because something that he created was so beautiful. I mean, hey, so beautiful. Because women, we are beautiful. We bring life into the world. So God had to put him to sleep, snatch out his ribs. Listen, I got some more studying for y'all. Blow life into us as well. Created us out of him. Sewed him up. And he had to, let's put it like this. He stayed in a coma. Stayed in a coma because he had to be healed, and he also had to be taught, because God not only had to teach us how to love a man and how to act as a woman, how to stand in our grace and know who we are and whose we are. He also, why Adam was in the coma, right? That's where we put him at. We put him there. I didn't say that's what the Bible said. I'm just saying in this moment right now, this is what I'm saying. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes. Thank y'all for the shares. And I ask that y'all invite others. He put Adam into the deep sleep. So do you think Adam was just sitting there just, sleeping? No, he was being taught how to treat us. He was being taught that this is a thing that's about to happen. See, you could look at it like it was his time of his imagination or his dream. He was dreaming, right? But what you think becomes your reality. It's because it was already coming anyway. Anyway, we ain't talking about Adam today. We're talking about women. So now we're created, right? We're beautiful. We're the last thing to be created, but we were created whole. We didn't come with no scars. We didn't come with no anything. We just showed up. And what happened in between those times, we don't know if we were born a babe. We don't know if we were born at 40 years old and just, taught. We don't know if God took us from being a baby and allowed us to grow, right? And taught us along the way. We don't know. That's not in the Bible. It don't say anything about it. But at the end of the day, we do know this. We were whole. We were whole. We were already made to be beautiful. We were already made to be the mother of this earth. We were already made to take care of what is. We were already made to be his partner. We were already made to be queens, just as we are. We were already accepted to be who we are. Teeth or no teeth, hair or no hair. Nails or no nails. Guess what? We were created to be accepted by our divine counterpart just as we are. So if you have not found your man yet and you out here trying to I don't do this, I do my hair and I do this, that, and the third, and I still can't get a man, guess what? It ain't over yet because that ain't your man. The one you're created for, you don't have to do all that because you were created whole just for that person. So anyway. So then we jump to Proverbs, right? Proverbs. And if you look in all the chapters of Proverbs before you get to 31, it talk about women as being quarrelsome. Like we just troublemakers. Like all we do is just whine, nag, nag, nag. If you really read Proverbs, it say, I'm making this up. I'd rather stand outside and get hit by lightning than sit under the roof with a woman that's quarrelsome. That's pretty much how they were saying it, breaking it down. I'm breaking it down like, what you mean? We ain't that bad. We really not that bad. I mean, I thought, if you leave me up to my own understanding, this is what I come up with. Well, first off, back in those times, I was forced to marry you. Who said I wanted you? But anyway, so let's look at all this, right? Let's reel it all back. Let's go back in those times when folks were made to marry someone, right? They were made to marry someone. Now, you got to remember, we were created to be a partner to someone. And back in those times, if you have something, I'll marry my daughter off to you. They want to marry the daughter off for rich because it's something about the last name. I need your wife because I need to bore my sons to carry my last name. See, it was very important. It was very important. And we're going to talk about why names are so important. It was very important why they had to do that. So they would marry him off. Now, it didn't say nowhere in there where it said that the lady loved him. This is the craziest thing to me, that they loved each other and that they were more like business because you were created to be with me. So it is no thing that you got to love me. You're going to do that anyway because it's in you. See, in those times, the love was in them. It just is what it is. They didn't have to force love. They didn't have to say, hey, let me take you out for a couple of months. I think I like her. I think I don't like her. You know what? Yeah, so they didn't even think like that. All they said was, I got to have a wife. This is my wife, and this is what it is. I'm going to treat you good because Ephesians 5 said how I got to treat my wife. So I got to treat you real good. It just ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It does not matter. So guess what? You're sitting around here, Seth, and guess what? Julia over here, she's of age. You're of age. Y'all go get married. It's not like, well, I need to get to know her. No. Because we were predestined to be with each other. So that's why marriages could happen just like that. And everything is going to go hip to hip to hip to hip. Like, all right, cool. He moved left, I'm moving left. He moved right, I'm moving right. You rocking, I'm rolling. I already know my role. You know your role. You get out there, you go, whatever you going to do. And me as a Proverbs 31, starting at verse 10, I'm going to go do my thing. I'm going to go handle my business and we going to come back up together. So That's how it was. But somewhere along the lines, if you go read Jeremiah, read about it, and God will talk about how the ancestors are the one that brought the destruction and the separation to everything. So be mindful when y'all saying, I'm calling all my ancestors. Well, just know what your ancestors did. People get it twisted. They thinking they're calling their ancestors from Africa or from their culture or from wherever it is. But you got to remember what you are calling in. What did they do to cause the curse to be on the bloodline? Think about that before you call your ancestors again. Because now we're in a fight for our life trying to break the generational curses that were brought on us because of our ancestors. Anyway, moving back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah talk about that. God tell him like it's the ancestors. So, okay. Now, it got mixed up and we start marrying for do I like you, for love. And then guess what happened, you guys? You marry that person and then you end up divorced because you love that person with conditions. The thing is, since you had to learn to love him, you put conditions on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, love is natural. It's in you. It's of God. It's supposed to be in you. Your person, the one that's for you, he's going to have that love for you. Period. It's not, oh, I'm going to develop the love for you. It's an automatic thing. Why do you think that people say it was love at first sight? Listen, I told y'all I come on here to teach something else, but when God moved me, I go ahead and say what I need to say. It's love at first sight. But because what the ancestors told you, your ancestors taught us, this is what they taught us. Oh, ain't no such thing as love at first sight. That don't even matter. But yes, it is, because what do you think Adam and Eve, they didn't have to be taught to love each other. They didn't date. They became husband and wife. And the reason why they became husband and wife, because love was in them. It was in their belly. It was in them because that's where God is. The kingdom lives within you. It's in you. So when people say, we can't get married, we just met each other. Well, when you meet your person, that's why when people say, y'all only known each other for such and such time and y'all got married, because it's in them. They're not taking a chance. Your person, when you are healed, God is going to heal your person. He's going to bring y'all together and you're just going to know. Okay? So I'm going to try and get back to this woman of grace. And if God shift me, then hey, it is what it is. It looked like we're having a great conversation. Give me a thumbs up if you guys like it. Continue to like, share, and follow. Let me know if you want to hear something else. So let's go back to the woman standing in grace. So Proverbs 31, woman is the blueprint of what a woman should be, but it read... But if you read the book, like I was saying, that, the quarrelsome woman in the early Proverbs, but Proverbs 31, starting at verse 10. See, it's something about the verse 31, starting at 10. Now, I'd like to do some research. I love numbers. Everybody say, you got people that say, you can't do this because numbers, that is witchcraft. You can't do this. But then you hear the Christians talking about the concords, and they look up numbers that way. And I just say, you know what? I don't have time for it. See, that's why I rock more with the younger generation, because they come in knowing about, I'm believing in the universe. I believe in God. Don't ever get it twisted. But what I'm saying is, when they say universe, they're saying they're not putting a stipulation on how good God is, how bad God is, who God is, what color he is, what he looking at, what he thinking about, what he this and what he that, and blah. Because one thing about it for sure, you have the Christians just say astronomy and numerology. I think I said that right. It's all witchcraft. But how is that so when God, everything he do is in order and everything has something to do with numbers? And we're going to talk about it today, because I want you guys to stop believing in what is told to you and research it yourself. When you're on here with me, stop listening to me completely. Write down what I tell you. Go research it yourself. Get to know God for yourself. So anyway, let's go back. So I looked up 31. 31:10 is something specific about that, because this is 31:10 tells you how you're supposed to be a wife, what a wife's supposed to be. It's something about it. Why does it start at a 10? Because 10 means completion, right? Now, I'm not talking about going in your Bible. I'm not talking about that. I research just numbers, period. It doesn't mean that I research in the numerology. It does not mean that I research in astronomy. It does not mean that I research numbers as if I was doing a research paper, okay? I research, when I'm doing my studies, I research in a way that I'm not looking for the spiritual tie, the religion tie. I'm looking for the truth, right? So follow me. And if you don't want to follow me, hang up. So 3110. For me, I'm like, okay, what is 31? All right. Now, I looked it up, and it means spiritual enlightenment. And 10 means completion. That's that right there, period. And then I was like, okay, so what about the man? Why is it so important? Because it tells you how to be a good husband, what a husband should be in Ephesians 5. Everybody say in Ephesians 5, but let's be specific about Ephesians 5. What part? It is at 5:25. That's where it starts. Now, at verse 22, it talks about, what how a woman should be as well. But we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about the 5:25. Now, I had to break that down. I said, what is the connection of this? What does this even mean? So I looked and I looked and I looked, and 5 means change. It's a change. It's just signifying a change. Now, 25 means the connection and power of pairing. And I'm like, okay, God, where I'm going with this? What are you telling me? What are you telling me? What are you telling me? Well, I thought about it, and I had an aha moment. Like, wait a minute. Now, if 31 means spiritual enlightenment and 10 is completion, that means the woman has awakened to who she is. And Ephesians 5:25 means the connection and the power of pairing. So if you put a Proverbs 31 woman with an Ephesians 5, the connection of pairing, the things that they supposed to be doing together as one, combined as their divine, as a divine counterpart, and operating in their purpose, the power, and standing in she's going to stand in her grace anyway, but standing in their place, doing their father's business as a married couple. I said, well, ain't that something? Wow. So you bring them together and a paired couple, powerful. I said, okay, God. Well, send me my Ephesians 25 because I'm ready to do my father's business. I'm ready to operate in my kingdom. It's just things like that. When I tell y'all to study, when I tell y'all to research, that's the type of research that I'm saying. Break it all the way down because every number means something. We're going to step away from this just a little bit because I'm going to put a pin in it because I'm going to explain something to you, another part of my study that I've been doing. Now, I don't really like to share much of my studies because I feel like, if I'm called to do so, then I do so. But I be feeling like it's for acknowledgement. Ooh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Here I am. But for acknowledgement, right? I am over here burping. I'm over here feeling good. Would y'all tell me what that is? Anyway, so I was doing my studies. Right? And so listen to this. So in Genesis 5, right? In Genesis 5, it breaks down names, right? In the Bible, in the early parts of the Bible, you like, why is all these names? Like you can't even pronounce them. And you find yourself, I'm going to just skip over all of that and go on to the passage, the scripture. Now, I know I ain't the only one. Give me thumbs up if I'm not the only one. I'm trying to get some interaction because I want to make sure I'm giving y'all some good schooling here. You know what I mean? If it's not good schooling, then maybe I need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe this message is just for me. But listen, and even for the ones that's looking but have not tapped the screen to come on in. We're having a good time. Listen, I like that y'all are liking this. I like that y'all are sharing. I like that y'all are following. But follow me, okay? Now, in chapter 5, it talks about the different names. So we're going to go with the names. We're going to go with Adam. Now, one thing about the Hebrew passages, scriptures, they're different from ours. The Hebrew passage, you can't mix it up. You can't max it up. You can't do anything. Okay. You can't like add a word and mess it up because it's all breaking down by letters, and those letters are broken down by numbers, and that's how it reads, period. You can't, if you put a word the in there or something else in there, it takes away from the whole context. So just remember that. So In Genesis 5, I'm going to give you the name, and I'm going to give you what the name means. Okay? Follow me. So, it says Adam. Adam means man. Seth means appointed. Enosh means mortal. Canaan means sorrow. Mahaliah, the blessed God. Jared will descend. Enoch is teaching. Now listen, you know these names. I had to break them down. Methuselah, his death shall bring. Lamech, despairing. And Noah is comfort. Now I said, okay, because I love when God give me something. Let's break that down. Let's combine all that together. And what does this say? Man will be appointed mortal and will suffer sorrow, but the blessed God will descend teaching, and his death will bring despair, but afterwards comfort. Now, my thing with that is God has always spoken to us in different ways. He never speaks to us the way it is. That's why I said you have to be spiritually awoken. You cannot, listen, I used to open my Bible and I used to read it. And like I said, I skip over the names. And you make you think, why did God put all these names on here like that? Why did he do that like that? What was it for? Hold on, what was the names for? Why? Everything is in order. Everything is in time. Now, I don't have a problem with people coming on here and having their comments. Like I said, I'm teaching. I'm just teaching. This is my theory. This is what I break down. I'm teaching you what I broke down. You can go along with it or not, but it's just something to think about, because if you look at in the Bible, he starts the Bible off with numbers. Day 1 of how he created the earth, all the way to day 7 that we're supposed to rep. Everything has a number. Why was it so specific for him to tell us that? Right? All the way to that, even with Noah's Ark. Now, it was specific, though. He gave the quantity, length, height. Everything had numbers to it. It was specific. Why did he have to make that so plain to us? In the Bible, it could have just went like, hey, he built the ark. But it had to specify each number. Even when it came to the covenant, everything with that, even with the temple, any and everything God broke down and gave us the numbers to it. And in Hebrew, where it stemmed from, that's how it's broken down. Everything is by letter and number. So it's like whenever you're doing your study, and don't just look past it. Ask God to reveal some things to you. Now, this could be a reach. This could be a whatever for you. This could be but this is how I study. I'm just explaining to you how I study. I go a little bit deeper because I want to know, why was that so important? Why was it so important? And I asked God to teach me, why is it so important? So that me teaching you about these numbers, that's where I came up with the 31 and everything. And then I came here to explain to you why numbers are so important. Now, it does not mean that you're going to go out there, because my way of thinking, a lot of people will never agree with me. The astrology, they say don't believe in astrology. Well, how did they find Jesus? I'm just saying, let's not go there. So it's not about what's true and what's not true. What you believe in, there's no right or wrong. There's no anything, because if I was Muslim, then I would say, hey, everything about Allah, everything that I believe in and been taught is right. You're a Christian, everything that you believe is right. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is, how about you go within and you talk to God directly and let him tell you? And that's why people of the newer generation are able to just go through, manifest, and get the things that they want, because they go to God. They ain't going to nobody else. They're not going to nobody else. They're just tapped in spiritually. So it's up to you to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be doing. Hold on, let me check my comments, because I know, buddy, you get hecklers. You just get people that come on and just say any and everything, and that don't bother me. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I learned that when you heart me, it does something. I don't know. So I go on people's lives and I heart them, because they say it does something. So Good evening. I am enjoying your teaching. My only problem is you keep breaking up on the... Oh no, Hank. Am I still breaking up, guys? I'm so sorry. Hey, Tam. We're going to get back into it, you guys. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm out on my patio. And so I was doing some study and I said, you know what? Let me click live. Let me go in. So anyway, let me get back to it, right? So that's what I wanted to break down to you guys. How I break down things. I don't go around trying to be like anybody else. I'm away from that. If my friends and family that I grew up with are what's around and they like, oh, I don't like your teaching and this, that, and the third, then okay, I'm cool. Okay. You know, I'm cool with that. I don't care because I'm not here to please any of them. I'm only going, just like the Father speaks to you, he speaks to me. So whatever. Anyway, let me get to my words. Let me get back to this. You guys, thank y'all for the likes, shares, and follow. So anyway, let me finish with the blueprint of what a Proverbs 31. So the thing with a woman is we were thought to be so special. God created us so special that he created us whole. There is no reason for us to be broken. How did we get to the point of being broken? See, this is when y'all keep talking about your ancestors, and I need y'all to really understand. Stop calling on your ancestors and call on the Holy Spirit. And the reason being is if you read Jeremiah, he talks about how the ancestors stirred all this up. This is the reason why we got generational curses on us. This is the reason why we're over here struggling, trying to get out of it. See, the ancestors are the ones that created their own thing. They made their own statues. They did their own thing. They made their own medicine. They did their own thing. They called out to, they took their beliefs and made it into something else. So even with this, even if they had a spiritual gift, let's use prophecy. Let's use prophecy. We're going to use that. Prophecy. Now, it breaks down in the Bible of, each job that's in the Bible. It tells you how you're supposed to act, right? Yeah, because you know what? User, all those numbers. You know what? In the Hebrew language, that's how it was with numbers. Our ancestors turned it into a thing. But see, the enemy will turn it into a thing because if he keep you tapped in, I'm going to give y'all something else. Y'all probably ain't going to like me for this one. If he keep you tapped into not knowing the truth about something, then he's right on time. I'm going to give you something else. This is just my studying. You can look at it any way you want to. Because nobody likes to talk about it. Numbers 666. They talk about it in Revelation. It was recorded way back when, and it, in centuries and centuries ago, right? And it appears in Revelation 13, 16 through 17, right? And it talks about, it breaks down accepting it. And 666 is a man, right? It's a man. But at the same time, what does that really mean? So I broke down, I researched so many different ways of being able to look at this, right? I looked at it, okay, let's look at it like this. It says, accepting the mark of the beast means it is a sign of control. The reason why I got control, let me take y'all back because y'all gonna be like, wait a minute, what is she talking about? So the way that is played. So I told you, this is not factual, you guys. This is me doing research because I be having to get the understanding for things for myself. So it talks about, some people call it a myth. Some people look at it as a myth. And the reason why they look at it as a myth because of the fact how it was recorded back when. And they recorded it back then because they wanted to look at it like, okay, this is not real. And then some people broke it down to, hold on, let me get my information right here. Let's read it. So Revelation 13, 16 to 17. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand. Listen to me very carefully. Watch where I go with it. This is why I break it down. To receive a mark on their right hand and their forehead so that they could buy and sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. Now, I was like, okay, let me break this down. How can I compare this in the times that we're living in right now? So I thought about it with your hand. What is that? Hand, right? Your hand represents work. Your hand represents work because it was a reason. I'm just sitting here in the time that we're living in. They're already trying to first force the work away, trying to get everything away. And with the forehead, it means the mind. So I'm like, okay, if I look at it this way, it means that it is, like the government or the media controlling the mind and affecting the work. So if I can't work, then I can't eat, right? Anyway, that's one way I looked at it. And I kept going on and on and on. I'm like, okay, the mark simulation, and then that will give them if I accept from them, it'll show that I'm submissive and I'm loyal to them and I'm serving them, right? But then I was like, okay, let's look at something else. And I was like, well, let me keep looking at this number because I know it's more to this number. I know. Oh, thank y'all thank you, Abdul. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for the like, shares, follows, gifts. Come on, let's follow me. Let's go. Because I'm sending y'all down a rabbit hole that I go through when I'm researching. I don't just look and read things for surface. I look because I know it's clues. And most people will look at it like you reaching. No, God put stuff there for a reason. Thank you for the follow. So here we go. Let's go. So now that the number 666 and they looking at it is not real, the verse ends with a clue. It said, this calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of man. The number is 666. And I was just like, okay, let them have wisdom. God, what more do you have for that? Now, this is just my study. So then I went even further. So in 1999, an archaeologist discovered, and it shook the whole academic world, you know what I mean? Religions and the scientists, right? Because that's what we compete. Religions compete with scientists when spiritual people compete with nothing because they are focused on God, give me the download. So anyway, the papyrus 115, which is the oldest manuscript of Revelation, right? It goes way deep. And it says 616. That's what it says. Now, the papyrus was unearthed in Egypt. And you want to look at it. Was it a typo? Was it a mistake? Was it written wrong? Because you got to remember, people were doing this by hand. They were doing this by hand. So was it written wrong and somebody made a mistake? Or they read it wrong and the next person that copied it 666? So let's look at it as if they didn't write it wrong. Let's look at it that way. Now, thank y'all for the likes, shares, and follows. I'm liking this tonight. So let's look at it like, okay, if they was, if it was manipulated on purpose, let's look at it. Back then, now it was this guy. I don't know who his name is. He had a study of this, and I was reading his study as well, right? And I'm like, wow, this all sounds really good because, I'm nosy. I want to know what's going down on in this rabbit hole because this is my rabbit hole. So anyway, so let's say it's not. So some theorists think that it was pointed to Nero. Nero was the Roman Empire that persecuted the Christians back in the first century. He would persecute them, kill them, burn them. Torture these people. So when they were writing these manuscripts in Hebrew where letters have numerical, I can't get that out. Anyway, meaning the name Nero, when you break it down, it says Nero Caesars. If you break it down, it adds up to 666. So I was like, wow. So in those times, they looked at Nero as the Antichrist. And that's who they wrote about. And then let's look at this time. Maybe they thought like this. That was because, every year you've been born, it's the end of time. This is the end of the world. Come back. Jesus come back. So let's say they were sitting there in that time like, oh, it's the end. The revelation is here. It's here. The end of time is here. Here's the Antichrist. But then it made me think the first century. Did they know? Did they get to Daniel? Because Daniel predicted these things. Daniel predicted the coming of Jesus, the going of Jesus. He predicted when he was going to die, and everything adds up to the day when he died, to the day that he had awakened to who he was, and to the day that he has died. Everything Daniel said, go back and read it. Go back and read the book of Daniel. Hey, Costico. But anyway, that's on you to find out. So that it's like if they linked him to that because he was around there killing all the Christians. That's one way to look at it. But then why is 6 so important? Why is it so important? Well, 6 in the Bible represents humanity, imperfection, and weakness. On the 6th day, God created man on the 6th day. Man worked for 6 days and rest on the 7th. Jericho fell. Now, it fell on the 7th day, but it took 6 days of them marching. So 666 represents the height of humans, ruled without a God system. Rooted in human, right? With earthly power without acknowledgement of God. That was just me reading that, breaking it down. I'm like, oh, okay, well, over the years, the 666 became more prevalent, and this is what it is. So we don't know. But the Bible tells us that's what 666 is. But I wanted to get to know where the root of 666 came from. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You go and research. Stop sitting in church and the pastor tell you scripture. And he tell you, and you believe it and you run with it. In the times that we live in, you don't know what's real, what's not real. But it's up to you to find out what's real and what's not real. But you can't go off of your own understanding. Now, like I do my little research, right? Because I be wanting to know. But I always take it back to God. Because what I'm not going to do is teach it. I'm not teaching this. I'm telling you what I came up with. This is something that I did. Now, if you want to run with it, that's on you. I already told you I ain't teach this. I'm just telling you this is how I go so deep into researching and breaking down numbers. Because something about numbers. It is something about numbers, right? Anyway, so let's get back to women in grace. Thank you so much for the likes, shares, and follows, you guys. Thank y'all for rocking with me. So anyway, back to a women standing in their grace. I told you I'd be talking about something and God will shift me, and I go with the flow. Now, with that Proverbs 31 woman, she gets with her Ephesians 5 man. You know what I mean? And in order to get to him, she has to heal. So let's talk about that. Thank you for the follow. So let's talk about healing. So say, for instance, you and I don't know any guys on here, but anyway, because it makes it so much simpler when you're using someone, right? But you meet a guy and y'all immediately have the energy of a connection, that love at first sight, that thing that we just talked about, how Adam didn't have to learn how to love Eve because it was in him. Love is in him. Love is God. God is in you. So he didn't have to learn how to love Eve because he loved God. So Ephesian man, you don't have to learn how to love your wife because why? You love God. So that's how that plays out. But you meet your spouse, this guy, and all these feelings are happening. These feelings are happening. Women, it's usually women, they get attached quickly because these feelings are happening. Men, they'll feel it and they don't know what's going on and they start fighting the air. They want to, like, get up off me. And you like the girl, get off me. I don't even know what these feelings is. I'm feeling tingly on the inside. Get off me. That's how men are because they can't accept it. So let me explain something to you. All of a sudden, a woman, you start to heal. When you start healing, then this man creeps on back, right? He creeps on back and he hasn't changed. He knows that he has something with you, and what he called it, I feel like it's something there. I feel like it's a magnetic pull. I feel like it's an energy pull. I feel like it's a spiritual thing. I feel like these things, but I don't know what it is. And then he started fighting the air again and going about his business, and he back in the streets. But you are standing firm and you're healing because women, as we talked about, women heal on the inside. And when we heal on the inside, we go within and we find the kingdom of God that's within us. And we learn about love and we start to love ourselves because that person that came, that could be your other half. Let's just say it is, right? But he's special right now. He's out there pulling on a door that say push. He can't understand what's going on. He's trying to get to you, but he can't get to you because he's pulling on the door that say push. And as long as he's out there in the wilderness, he's always going to be. What does the wilderness mean? It means confusion. So when they talk about that 40 years in the wilderness that they were speaking of, they were in confusion. It was chaos and confusion those 40 years. Yeah, they were out there living, but at the same time, like right now in the times that we live in, we're in our wilderness because there's so much confusion. So don't look specifically for the word of they was in the woods, they was in the desert, no, the wilderness and the desert mean confusion. So he's out there in his wilderness and he can't figure it out. It's not until you heal. When you start to heal, then it's going to draw him closer. And when it draws him closer, it starts to make him more humble, and it starts to make him more I don't want to say sensitive, vulnerable with his feelings. It's starting to make him want to open up more, but he's still pushing on the door to say pull because he's still trying to understand that. Let me explain what that is. So everybody talks about this twin flame thing. They run, and that's what the enemy wants you to chase something other than yourself. If I can get you to chase after something else, a passion, because that's what it is, a passion. When you're chasing women, when you're chasing after a man, it's a passion. That is not your purpose. That is not your divine counterpart. It is a passion. So if he can keep you off the track of understanding what's inside of you, that the twin flame, you are your twin flame, then therefore he'll keep you blocked out from your destiny and your purpose. Because what we're supposed to be doing is coming up in our marriage with our kingdom spouse and teaching the world about love. So they were supposed to look up to us. Remember, it was the Jay-Z and Beyonce that goals and power couple and this, that, and third. Nothing about them said anything about that's who I want to be like. What I seen is this is chaos and they got money tied up into this. This is all business. They don't even love each other, but that's another story. That's how I seen it. So God is building us up in this time to be that one to be looked upon, because he's got to teach us how to love each other. So anyway, so now you go within and you heal the twin flame that's in you, your masculine and your feminine energy. Now you heal that. Now he's still pushing on the door to say pull. He's kind of almost getting a hint, because the wind from the inside is kind of blowing. I don't know what's going on. The AC just popped on, the door kind of opened up a little bit. And he's seeing that, okay, it does open, so that ain't the problem. So let him still figure that out. Now you back in here, let him stay in this wilderness, because it's up to you to heal. When you balance your masculine and feminine energy, that's when he will come. And the reason why when y'all met, it was so much friction. It was just like so much power. It was so much going on, because you were in your masculine and feminine energy at the same time as he's in his masculine feminine energy. He don't even know what feminine energy is. He's fighting the feminine that's inside of him, because those are emotions and he's fighting them. So therefore now he has an issue with you, because those emotions, that's girl stuff. And he's having an issue with you, and that's what's happening. So either energy don't know how to show up, right? Don't know how to show up. So they say, you can't be an alpha female with an alpha male. No. That's not, they get it twisted. And that's what's showing up, and it's causing friction. But it's only when, send him back to the wilderness, let him go back to his door. It's only when the woman, when she heal, right? When she decides to heal and she really go within and heal, now she balances her masculine energy. See, that masculine energy was created to protect her from all the people that hurt her, because no one ever showed up for her. No one ever had her back. So she created this masculine energy to stand in front and to have her back. She created this masculine energy to protect her and her children. Do you understand? So once she relinquished her rights to that masculine energy, she realized that, hey, I'm only connected to God. God, I trust you. You got me. I'm over it. That's when your counterpart, he's finally going to realize that, I've been pushing on this door to say, pull. Let me pull this door. And he shows up. And he shows up different this time. The reason why he shows up different this time is because now he understood what the emotion was. In that time that he had to play with that door to figure out how to operate it, it was teaching him patience. In that time that he was figuring out how to operate that door, it was teaching him how to check his emotions, because he getting mad, but he realized getting mad ain't gonna get the door open. It started making him use his logic. It started making him look at things about himself. See, it's only when they always say, I went through some stuff. No, that he allowed God to show himself to himself. And he realized, dang, that was a good girl. I loved her. That's why I ran from her, because it was love at first sight. I knew I loved her, because a man will find his wife. Remember, Ephesians 5, he's going to come get you, and that's why y'all met. But I love her. But He's done with the questioning himself, like, is that even right? He's done with calling his homeboys like, man, I got this feeling. Man, she done did witchcraft. Man, she done did this. Man, she done did that. And he finally surrendered to realize that, hey, I love her. Now he's racing against the clock to hurry up and get back to you. Because now it's like, oh, snap. I don't want her with anybody else. I got to find my way back. I got to get back in her presence. I got to do this. And the whole time she's been over here building an empire. She's been over here praying, focusing, getting grounded, taking care of her insides and her outside, getting to know God on a whole nother level, getting to know him for who he truly is, not what people have told her what he was all these years. No. She is over here really standing in her grace. And I can speak to that because that's me. I'm over here standing in my grace. I'm over here shining. I am over here glowing. I am feeling good because I am operating in my purpose. The enemy cannot bring me passions anymore. I'm not going to fall for them. I can comfortably sit here, and even if people come on my live, like the one guy came on my live and said whatever, they could come on my live and it not upset me because I understand that everybody has their point of view. They see things how they want to see things. But for me, I'm never going to go with what they said. I'm going to go with what God told me. I'm never going to, well, everybody else, if I say this, they're going to be mad. Well, let them be mad. I don't people please anymore. I say what I say. I share with you what I share. Now, it is a fine line to teaching. Now, I don't care what none of the other folks say. I don't care what none of the other folks say. They can say whatever they want to say. When they say, God told me, God talked to me as well. So I'm only going to go by what he tell me to do. And then if I do lead any of you astray, I'm going to be accounted for. So you best believe that I go to God over and over to ask him, hey, wait a minute, am I supposed to, what? Hold on, you want me to say what? And I have to meditate on it. And it has to sit with me until he keeps showing me the signs. So it may not be for everybody. It may be for a specific person. But I say what I said, right? So listen. So back to the woman. You focus on healing you. You learn to be in your power. See, it's not about that I'm going to look a certain way. It's not about that, you'll know when you healed. I don't have to tell anybody I'm healed because they can just see it in me. It's my glow. I got that Leroy the Last Dragon glow. It's just that glow. I show up. It's when I walk in rooms, I shut it down. It's just when I'm just standing here, people stop talking. They stop talking. Period. They do. Okay? They just stop talking. And the reason why they stop talking is because I'm no nonsense. I don't have to tell them I'm no nonsense. I don't have to say I don't do no negativity because they already read that on me when I walked in. Because before I even came, my spirit showed up already and told their spirit, hey, royalty is coming, so I need y'all to back up. Royalty is coming and you about to get upset. So since you're going to get upset and you're going to get shut down, just go ahead and go out the back door. Hey, you over there, royalty about to show up. I need you to put the red carpet out. I know it's you jealous because you thought you was royalty, but it ain't. So when I show up, everything is just given to me. I don't have to ask for anything. I don't have to sit around and say, well, how I'm going to get this, how I'm going to get that. See, that's when you know you operating in your purpose. Let me explain something to you. If you are running around here trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to get the business started, how you're going to get the money for the business, how you're going to get this, that, and the third, you are not operating in your purpose. God, it's just like this. If you go to your job right now, in order to work, they're going to have to give you a laptop or a desk or, your uniform. They have to give you the essentials that you need to get started, right? Anything else that you want extra, that's on you. But they're going to give you the essentials that you need to get started because they hired you. You didn't run to them and say, hey, you got to hire me. They chose you over all the resumes. They looked at your resume and chose you. Same thing with God. You're doing your Father's business. This is my kingdom business. I appointed you here, and this is what you're going to do. I'm going to provide you the things that I need to provide you. When it was time for Moses to go to Mount Olive and look over and see the promised land, and then to die, Guess what? He said, before you do that, go find Joshua. Joshua, bring him to me. They came to the front of the tent, and God had a conversation with them and told Joshua, this is your mission now. I am appointing you. So he equipped him with the things that he needed. He equipped him with the confidence. He equipped him with everything that he needed by telling him just one thing: I am God and I am with you. Go. That meant that you have my authority, right? So the same thing. If God put you to do his kingdom business, so if he told you to do this, the money's going to come to you. You're going to attract everything that you need. That's what that stand in alignment. That's what the abundance is. You're going to attract everything that you need because you're operating in your purpose. And when you operate in your purpose, you get your inheritance. Your inheritance comes from God himself. So he gives you the inheritance so you can go do what you need to do. Not only do my business, but you're also going to go live life and have a good life and do the things you want to do. And you're also going to be the storehouse for my people. When I send someone to you, you're going to be able to provide for them. Do you understand? So he's going to give you more than enough. That's why it says your cup overfloweth. He's going to give you more than enough because your cup being full is for you. The overfloweth is for you to do his business, which is take care of his people. Now, if you having a hard time, stop saying this. Oh, the enemy fighting me. The enemy is not fighting you. I need you to go back to the drawing board. I need you to see what step did you add that was not supposed to be there. It's not all you. We give the enemy too much credit. It just, it's the enemy is in. How about we just look within, go back to the drawing board. What did God tell you to do? Well, that be half the problem right there. Hey, precious, that be half the problem right there. Thank you, boo. Half the problem right there is you never consulted God. You never asked him. You never said nothing. So that's why you have to go to the drawing board, because it's like, okay, what it is. Or say you asked God. God told you to do what he told you to do, and you're doing it. Now, go back to the drawing board. From the time that you spoke to God, right? You spoke to him. He told you this. All right, cool. Now that he told you this, what's the next step? What did you do? I'm sorry, I got my heater on. What did you do? What did you add to that? What did you do? Okay, so don't put it off and say, oh, it's the enemy fighting me, or it's divine timing. As I say with divine timing means when God is ready. It is not the way that, for me, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it as the way that we look at it, like, okay, God just sitting up there and he just waiting, or he got to move some stuff around for me, or he got to do this. When I look at divine timing, I look at, okay, I'm the problem right now. Because he said, whatever I ask for, I can get, right? The desires of my heart. So therefore, this is what I want. He said, I can have it because I'm in alignment. I'm doing my Father's business. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And he said, I can have it. So what's the problem? Why don't I have it? Well, I haven't put any action to it. I said I wanted it. He said, okay, now what are you going to do? See, I'm too worried about, but I ain't got no money. See, that's the problem. That is the problem. See, you are the problem. And then you say divine timing. Divine timing for me is when you operate, you're going to have it. Divine timing means for me that, when I execute, then I can have it tomorrow. I can have it next week. I can have it 3 years from now. I can have it whenever, because God already said I can have it. He's going to give it to me, but it's when I'm going to do my part and not worry about it. He told you to go buy a house and you sitting around talking about, where I'm going to get the money from. Thank you for the likes, shares, and follows. You guys invite others. Where I'm going to get the money from? That's not what you asked him. You said, God, can I have it? See, when you ask your parent or ask your father, Daddy, can I have this? They don't say, they already know how much money they got. They're going to give you an answer, yes or no. Just like God. God is going to give you an answer, yes or no. And if he tell you no, trust me, he's going to explain to you why. And the reason being is if you would have got that, then you wouldn't have gotten this. Or if you would have got that, then this. Or you had to drop these people because right now my anger, my wrath is towards them. And so if you would have kept them, then you would have been under my wrath, and I love you too much. But then we go out there and we fight and we force ourselves to be with a person, right? And then you go from, let's talk about it, on top of the world, everything's going good for you. Great job. You know, great car, house, you're doing good, nice clothes, money in the bank, you're feeling good until you meet up with Pee Wee now. And Pee Wee now, you know, he sold you all these dreams because when you met him, he said he got this business, he got this, that, and the third. He's doing this, that, this. And you going off of these dreams that he's feeding you because you're so blinded by, because one, you let down your boundaries and the enemy needed to come in. So he brought Pee Wee because Pee Wee talk a good game. See, they don't call me Pee Wee no more. You know, Pee Wee was when I did this, that, and the third. And then they go read up on something, and then they educate themselves on something. And then when they talk to you, they're talking like they know this business, like they know this and they know that. And the next thing you know, Pee Wee done talked you out your panties and drawers and everything else, and out your bank account, out of everything. And now you sitting around talking about, God, why me? Well, God told you, don't mess with Pee Wee. I'm on Pee Wee because Pee Wee done hurt 12 other of my daughters, and my wrath is against him. I'm not even showing my face to him. My back is to him. And I told you to go over there. Matter of fact, I gave you all the signs. When Pee Wee was walking up to the door to ring the doorbell, he fell down, rolled down to his car. You seen it through the camera and you ran out. Oh, come here, Pee Wee. I told you Pee Wee was the wrong one when he came and he got ready to tell a lie that he started throwing up everywhere. Blood was coming out his nose. But you said, oh, you must be sick. Let me take care of you. Do you understand? So it's in those times. And then now you have nothing. Now you have nothing. And you still rocking with Pee Wee. Because Pee Wee done told you. He about to get his rap career off the ground. He about to make it happen, sell these t-shirts. He about to make it happen. Just rock with me. I'm telling you, when I blow up, I'm going to remember you. No, he's not. If them t-shirts sell, he is not going to remember you. He not going to remember you, boo-boo. His rap career break out and he get on Dead Broke Records, he not going to remember you, boo. One little piece of excitement for Pee Wee, and he out of there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you made Pee Wee look good. So now Pee Wee put that clothes, he put it on. He put his clothes on and he go outside. And the girls be looking at him. They don't look at him because he look good. See, your anointing is on him. Because you're chosen. You're the one that's anointed. So as long as you keep yourself attached to him, he's going to be covered under your grace when it comes to certain things. And God is going to deal with him. But when you separate, when Pee Wee leave you, because that's the only way you're going to separate from him. God is trying to get Pee Wee gone. God is sick of Pee Wee. God is so sick of Pee Wee. He been trying to get Pee Wee, but then he anointed you. You are his daughter. Then you went and attached yourself to him. Yeah, Dead Broke Records. Then you went and attached yourself to Pee Wee. And God like, all right. Let me break this up. Because I see you all kind of SOS. I see you kind of, let me get my daughter. And then he go get you. Pick you up, put you over here because you over there done lost all your weight, snotting and crying, mascara running down your face. Your wigs don't even fit your head right because it done got skinny. How your head get skinny? You done got off into drugs. You done got off to drinking. You done got off into everything but what you was supposed to do. Now you over here with the skinny body and the skinny head. I don't know. Wig slipping off the back of your head because it ain't got nothing to grip to. Because you let Pee Wee run you crazy. All them women are chasing down a Pee Wee because he had your anointing attached to him because you went and attached yourself to him and he attached himself to you. See, he put his claws in you, right? And then now he's out there chasing skirts. Matter of fact, he ain't even got to chase skirts because it all comes to him because he's attracting it all. And he don't realize, Pee Wee, ain't nobody looking at you. You ain't got no teeth in your mouth. Pee Wee, one of your eyes kind of going to the left. Pee Wee, your scalp stank. Like, Pee Wee, I need you to get your life together. You don't even look that good. Pee Wee, you're a little too thick to be wearing skinny leg jeans. Like, you got a bad built body. Like, you got a Tommy Hill figure. You got a Tommy girl figure going on right now. Like, you don't even look good at all, Pee Wee. But the girls don't see that. What they looking at is your anointing. So now that God finally took your tail, brought you over here so you can gain some weight in your head. Your scalp sour. Your scalp stank. You over there taking your wig off and it stank. Because you ain't been taking proper hygiene, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, pointing to yourself. So now you over here, God trying to repair you, but what he needed to do is to separate. And once the separation came, see, you understand? Separation. The enemy brings what? Chaos. Separate you from that, right? He took you from that. And now Pee Wee over here is living his best life, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, girls like, I don't even want him. Like, Pee Wee, you don't even look that good, because Pee Wee trying the same thing he tried on you, and then he gonna try it on them. See, he met a Glorilla. What I mean by Glorilla, see, I'm in my 40s. Glorilla, you know why I like her when she be snapping off is because she said everything that I wish I would have said when I was her age. But I was brought up in a time of, I was taught to be with a man no matter if he mistreats you or not. I was taught to, girl, just get your man. I was taught that. But see, she is rocking it like, no, get out of there. No, you ain't going to play with me. No, you ain't trying me. So then he met one of her and it didn't work. Now, they done messed up his self-esteem. Pee Wee started to look around like, girl, I'm putting this on. Like, I look good. I look good. You ever seen the ones that's on TikTok and they be having a video, and it'd be so funny to me when I scroll through the live and it says, hey, send me your, I want to rate your profile picture. What? No, bro, let me rate yours first. What are you doing? Who are you? Why are you rating someone's picture? What made you? Because he's Pee Wee. Because he was with somebody at one point in time that made him feel like he looked good. But he didn't realize that the favor is away from him. The anointing is off of him because God is healing his daughter. And he out here still acting like he got it like that. Like he could put it down like that. No, Pee Wee, you don't got it like that. You don't got it like that. You don't got it like that. Carry on, Pee Wee, carry on. See, I was supposed to sing this hook for his rap career, but he wanted to kick me to the curb. You know what I mean? I was supposed to be on Dead Broke Records with him because we ride or die, but he kicked me to the curb. But it's okay. But it's all good, Pee Wee. But that's the thing. When you get with people, you lose everything, and then God will bring you out and heal you, right? Put you back to where you were 10 times better. And then here come Pee Wee. What you gonna do? Because people realize that, okay, well, ain't nobody else out here showing no love to Pee Wee. Let me go on back over here. Well, I know it's love at. And now he done seen you looking like Coach Nash, shining. Got the Leroy the Last Dragon glow. Feeling good. Over here in my mind and my own business. Operating in my purpose. Doing my thing. And here come Pee Wee. I seen you been looking good. I know. Now he like, oh, now she thinks she all that because she got a little follower. I do. I know. What do you want? But see, that's what you want to say. But you can't do that. When you're healing, what you have to do is take them for what it is and just say, okay, I see you. I don't want to entertain it. You don't have to be mean, like, oh, wait till I see. No. That means you're not healed. What you have to do is acknowledge. Allow them to see what God done a thing in you, because the whole purpose of it at the end of the day is a testimony that has to be done. It has to be for his glory. So if he can see what God did in you, then he'll want that everlasting water, that spring water of God. God is the living spring water, the living spring water. So boom, then he'll want that and he'll do right. That is all you're supposed to do. You are not here to save nobody. Once you heal, your job is to only be you, operate in your purpose. And let me see what I done missed, because thank y'all for the likes. Listen. Miss Lady. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on some stuff. I'll be over here tripping, Meek. I missed the part you talked about awakening. I really need that. I hope it's on your page. I put all these lives on my YouTube, so subscribe there. So this one, as soon as I finish, and listen, don't be thinking that you're about to get edited down and all. No, I download it from here and then I upload it from there, and sometimes it takes a couple of hours, but yeah, I'll do it. I'm so sorry, Meek. But no, I don't know which one you we done talked about a lot of stuff. The main purpose was to talk about women in their grace. Hold on, guys. Let me get my lights going out here. Hold on. I don't want to. I don't want to. Hold on. I don't think I made that no better. I don't know if it came out any better. But yeah, thank y'all for the likes, shares, follows. Thank y'all for all that. But the most part, I wanted to come on here and just talk to you guys about being a woman and standing in your grace. I don't even know what's going on, why I even turned these lights on, but standing in your grace. It is so important for you to heal and be the best version of yourself. Yeah, be the best version of yourself, right? It is just so important. Just be you. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't go running around trying to be in somebody else's religion and trying to, they live this way, so you got to live this way. You got to be this way. God is going to send just what you need when you need it. He will give you the confirmations, because I'm telling you, I used to come on here like, God, this is not... I would always say this, and he told me to stop saying that. I used to always come on here and I would disclaimer, y'all, I am not a pastor, I am not a minister, I am not a this, I am not a that. Now, let me explain that to you as well. What he showed me is a lot of people look for man for everything, right? So back in those times, during my study, God would appoint who needed to be appointed, right? He would send out his prophet and appoint them. So in the time, as they talk about Jeremiah, the ancestors, this is the reason why we're in generational curses right now, because the ancestors started doing what they wanted to do, right? Kind of like, anyway, I ain't even gonna go there because it'll start being politics. And so what happened is we start looking for idols and things to worship and to tell us, give us that whole, making us feel whole, that whole validation. So validation came a part of, our world. I'm looking to be validated. So then man came a part of it. So then, so like if you're a prophet, right? You were born with this gift, because it also talks about in Jeremiah 1 and 5, I believe, 1 and 5, it talks about God knew who you were when he created you. He knew who you were when he created you. Yeah. You were already predestined to be who he needed you to be. So you was a prophet, he made you a prophet. That's just what it was. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what it is, right? So if you're a child, I just want you guys to look at this, and I want you to get to studying and get to know these things for yourself, and then we're going to close out. I want you to get to know these things for yourself. So when you're a child, it may have been a prophet that came to your mother and said, hey, this baby is going to be this, that, and the third. Gabriel shows up in different ways. He's the angel of good news. He'll show up in different ways and prophesy and say what needs to be said. But then you get older and you had no one to help teach you or mold you what you're supposed to be doing, right? You got some people that go off to the church because they need that validation. They need the confirmation, right? And then that's where you take away from God. So if God ordained that person to be the one to tell you, okay, so what about the ones that tell you, well, God didn't tell me you was a prophet, and you're telling them that's what you are. That's what God called you to be. See, they call you crazy. They say something wrong with you. Then they tell you you can't pick and choose, but how you know God did not tell that person that? So that's why, go to God, whatever God tell you to do. Now, he ain't told me none of those things, but, he would tell me to put the message out, because he did take me to a scripture, and he did take me to one of my rabbit holes that I like to go down, of research. He did show me that anyone can be called. He can use anyone to prophesy when he needs them to be. The whole point of your spiritual gifts is not about the title. It's about the order and the timing. Meaning that I can't come on here and make up my own stuff. And, even if I was a prophet, I can't come on here and say, and tell y'all what I've seen and how it's going to be if he did not call me to do it. So that's the thing about it. You have to be obedient. And that's why I say I come on here, I put my message out. And as I'm putting my message out, that I prepare and I ask God for me. That's that one thing that I tell y'all. You're going to do his job, and then he's going to give you the desires of your heart. Well, I really want to teach women. But at the same time, in between everything that he gave me, it's still tied into that. It's just that I was getting the downloads as I'm speaking as well. So it would be going against him if I did not stop what I was talking about to say what he needed me to say. Do you understand? It's knowing how to perform and operate in your gift. It's not about the titles. It's not about all those things. So tomorrow, we probably finish up with the women of grace, in grace. But I have something else we're going to talk about. And that's why I have to figure out how am I going to do this? Because now, having to go back to work and do different things, certain things, how will I have the time to do this? So that's something me and God got to make up. Because I'm going to do my workout. And my thing is I'm trying to keep from having to get up so early in the morning doing a workout. Because after I got out the Army, my whole thing is what I'm getting up early for. I'm not getting up early. I'm not. The Proverbs 31 woman wakes up. Yes, that was the woman in that time. This is Coach Nye. So Coach Nye is going to do her job. My job ain't her job. Proverbs 31 is a good guideline for us to be, operating as a woman. So let's not get it twisted. Don't come to me. And if you think that I'm about to get up here at 5 o'clock in the morning and give a word, then if he tell me to do it, then I'm going to do it, period. But anyway, we're going to talk about Delilah, Jezebel, and we're going to talk about Lilith. And the reason why I want to talk about them, because we always talk about the Deborah that was a judge, Esther that was the queen, of her people. And we talk about Hannah. We talk about Ruth. We talk about all these women, even we talk about Mary and Martha. We talk about all these women that did good deeds, right? And then we never talk about the ones that were considered evil spirited, right? And the reason why we don't talk about them is because who wants to talk about the bad? I like to talk about it all, because if you don't understand that there is Satan, then how can you believe there is a God? So you out here calling people Jezebels, and you don't even know what a Jezebel really is. You out here calling this person a 304, comparing them to Delilah, and you don't even know who she is. You comparing somebody to Lilith, and you don't even know who Lilith is. I mean, she was something serious, but still. Delilah was too. All of them. The Jezebel, the Lilith, they all was something else. But let's get to know them. So therefore, you will know that spirit when you see it. Because those spirits show up. Do you know they can be in men as well? These spirits, because that's what it is. It's a spirit. It's an energy. So Delilah, that spirit can be in men too. Because men set up women too. Women set up men all the time. That's what a Delilah did. She was used by someone else to set up a man that was of God, of strength, of power. So let's talk about this real quick. Listen, I tell y'all, when I close like 20 times because something always pop up. I want all my men, women too, all y'all with y'all long hair, y'all locks, y'all everything, right? I want y'all to spiritually cleanse your head. See, I'm going to pull this off. But what I mean by that, because Samson, his power was in his hair. Your hair is your glory. The power is in there. And people have Delilah spirits in them, right? And the things of what they'll come, you think is just cute when that dude rubbing all in your hair. What kind of spirits he got on him? And I'm not being funny, I'm being serious. Y'all buying all this hair from overseas and different things like that, and it says it's human hair. Who head it came off of? Did it come off a high priestess? Did it come off someone that practiced hoodoo and voodoo? Who head it came off of? And we put it on our head. Don't you know you have to pray over everything? Why do you think the hair is so important? You know, in the Muslim community, it even talks about in the Old Testament that you're supposed to cover your head. Woman, when you pray, your head has to be covered. So a lot of y'all that are being covered, y'all walking around with these bonnets on and don't even know how y'all covering yourself. When y'all are around them men, and I call y'all and I'm like, man, if I see a woman. So men, y'all are growing long, pretty hair. Y'all are the Samsons of this time. And I don't see none of y'all with no strength, but y'all are the Samson of this time. Long, beautiful hair. I seen a guy, he was dark skinned. Ooh, Lord. Oh my. That boy had some long, pretty hair. I don't know if y'all see him. He be on live. Long, pretty hair. I just happened to scroll through and I had to say, God, forgive me. Because the thoughts that came to my head, that man was fine. Dark skin, he had his beard, you know. He takes care of it because you can see the texture of his beard was good. His hair was long and chocolate. He was chocolate. Oh my. But that man was fine. However, I'm trying to behave. So that man with all that hair, think of all the Delilahs that's waiting to attach themselves to him. So what I'm saying is, guys, cover your hair. Ladies, cover your head. Cover your head. And if you putting it on and off, wash it. Pray over it. Before y'all get your bundles, pray over it. Wash it. I'm being serious. You know, everything is so important for you to stop looking at everything's surface and pray over everything. Let's talk about diamonds. You know how people were dying, killing themselves, dying. That's what they called it, the blood diamond. And y'all running around grabbing these diamonds and putting them on. Don't get it twisted. I got some diamonds now. I got a whole bracelet, 10-carat bracelet. Beautiful. But you got to pray over them things. You got to pray over it. You have to. Because you don't know what's attached to things. And I'm serious. You go to the Goodwill, pray over it. Somebody say, hey girl, I'm selling this bag, or you can come get it. Pray over everything. Why you think you be having a great day? You be minding your business, this, that, and the third. You go shopping, you feeling good. When you bring a thing in the home, right, because you ain't tried on at the store, and you try it on, all of a sudden your attitude changed. Everything changed because who tried it on before you? It's transfer of energy. But anyway, I'm just saying. I'm just giving you tips of what Coach Knight did. I'm just telling you. The next man that trying to talk to me, I'm praying over everything. The air that he breathes. Nope, don't. You're not allowed to breathe. I rebuke your air right now in the mighty name of Jesus. Go breathe that way. Take your nose off when you talk to me. I don't know what to tell you because I don't know what you about to breathe onto me. This is why I don't come on unless I'm being called, because I'll turn it to comedy hour. I have a good time because I like to have a good time because I'm a down to earth person. And that's why who better for him to choose to help guide his people, the new generation, and bringing in the old generation and making the old generation stop beating up the new generation. Because, Lord, let me tell you, that was me. I would tear them down. Like, if you don't get your big stupid, what are you talking about? The universe. God is the universe. He said I am, but they're not trying to hear that. What they don't want to hear is we don't want to hear about your God. It's not that they were saying we got different gods. It was just that your God, you put limits on your God. You ain't talking about my God. See, their God don't have limits on it. Their God that they're worshiping he is who he is. He is God of all gods, God of everything. He's the creator of everything. So what better than we can say, because y'all call him God, but y'all put caps on him. Y'all limit him. When y'all speak about him, y'all limit him. So what better way can we say something to show y'all that our God is bigger than all your gods? And we talking about the same gods, but they took the caps off of them and called them the universe. Do you understand? They just ain't out here floating in the world talking about, Captain America and Captain Universe, come on down, save us. No. It's just that the way we refer to God, when we teach about God and when we teach them, we teach about him. God don't like that. That ain't God. God don't like that. So what we telling them is our God is angry. And our God is black. Nope, our God is white. Nope, he's not black, he's white. Nope, he didn't have long hair and blonde eyes. Nope, he had wool hair. Nope, look at the Bible. Look at this. Look. See, and what they told y'all is, I don't care what your God got going on. My God is bigger than all that. Matter of fact, guess what? While y'all arguing, I'm about to ask him to help me be a millionaire. God, I want my business to take off tomorrow and let it be a millionaire. And then we got 19-year-olds that's out here multi-millionaires. Do you hear me? Because they're connected. They're not doing the whole, my God, acting holier than thou. They know who they are. See, we were raised to be who they told us to be. They came out the womb telling us what we gonna do. And they did. And guess what? I'm like, they ain't gonna tell me. And yeah, they told me what to do. And I was like, all right, cool. You right. What y'all say? Change the laws? Okay, we changing the laws. Okay, They said they don't have to go to school. They having a hard time. They need a break. You right. Give them a break. They got anxiety. You right. They got anxiety. Give them checks. Let them off school. Don't take their phone. Don't take their phone. You right. Take your phone. Have your phone. You see what I'm saying? They came in telling us what to do. They like low-key little bullies. I'm for real. Like low-key little bullies. And it's cool. And it's cool. It's cool. Because they doing it the right way. We were raised to be submissive. We were raised to do what I say, not as I do. We were raised, don't ask no questions, just do it. We were raised to not speak unless spoken to, and they're adults and you are a liar. If that adult, even though they lied on you, said you did it, then you did it. It's like, dang. They came out the womb, because my 12-year-old, he came out the womb not caring. Even when he was like 2, 2 and 3, I tell this dude out the frame. And he like, okay, you whooped me because I wanted a snack, because I went and got a snack. Now you done put it on the top shelf. You whooped me? All right, I'm going to show you better. I'm about to climb on the pantry shelves and get the snack, and I'm going to hang in there like Spider-Man. And as soon as you come, I'm throwing a web at you. Now, he didn't care. He still don't care. So I learned to compromise. I learned to be like, all right, cool. You know what? You're right. You got it, little man. But no, what I had to learn is, and I had to teach them, I had to learn what this is, and I had to teach them respect. So, yeah, listen, we done failed for it, and it's like, all right, but as long as they understand respect. So with this new generation, stop disrespecting them. A lot of them are spiritualists, and a lot of them are going down, as I talked about, they're in the void, and they spiritually awaken. And a lot of people, even in our age group, they have awakened. And then when they awaken, they fall into the void. And what the void is, you coming out the matrix. What the matrix is, it's the prince of air. This earth, this is what we're doing. This place here, what was taught to us to control us. You come out the matrix, you wake up, and you're just like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? And in the void, you try and figure out what is real, what wasn't real. You start seeing things with your spiritual eyes, like everything that was physical, just like how when I read the Bible, I used to read it with my physical eyes. Now I read it with my spiritual eyes, meaning that I know that God speaks to us through numbers. With the Hebrew, that's how they spoke, through numbers and letters. So I know that everything has a meaning to it more than that. When God repeats something over and over, it is a reason for that. And it was in one when Daniel came to the front of the cage, and God said, what are you doing? And he explained to him. Then he went back to the front of the cage, and God asked him what he was doing, and he explained to him again. Wait a minute, I think I got a twist. I think it's Jeremiah. Anyway, do the research for yourself. So he came to him and he had a conversation. He said the same thing. So when things are being repeated, it's repeated for a reason. I'm telling you, I was in my study, both Daniel and Jeremiah, because I'm bringing up another class, how some of the things that they talk about are repeated. But anyway, so, everything is repeated for a reason. Why is it repeated? And that's how deep I go. Why? It means something, right? It means something. And when God tells you not to do something, he means that. So, I got so much stuff that I want to go in detail about how I broke down even with Daniel, his last prophecy, right? His last prophecy. See, he had 3 prophecies. And I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to leave. I always call it closing time, and then I go about my business and not be in here going on and on and on and on and on. Have you guys, no, I ain't even going to go there because y'all don't even interact like that. Y'all don't even interact like that. Y'all don't. Hold on, let me find this. Listen, let me ask y'all this. Okay, I'm going to give y'all one more. What I break down. One more. Like I said, it's this guy. It never said his name. It never said anything, but he has a study, and I researched that, and then I go and I start researching some stuff, right? Now, I don't have all the different books that they have and whatever, but I go in different books, and I just come up with my own solution, but then I go to God and this. But I just want y'all to know how deep, when I say that, everything has a reason to it. And look, it's only 6 people on here, so this is good. I can get it out there and be able to get off of here, right? So in Genesis 2, it talk about the God's creation, right? How he formed us from the dust, how he formed us from the ground, and he breathed into our nostrils and gave us life. And I was reading about that, and how they say the dust. So I was listening to this guy, and I'm like, let me go do some studying on my own. And it was saying that he made us from the dust. So what's the elements of the dust? What makes dust? What makes the dust, right? So this is what it was. The elements that make up the human body is the exact same as the elements that make up the earth. It is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So I was like, okay, it's found in the dust. Found in dust. So I was like, okay. Now, it kind of validates with the Bible when it says that, what we were made up of. What made up of. So then the guy was talking about the DNA, and I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm listening. So the DNA, now I got to read this. Is a molecule that contains the genetic information of every living being. DNA is composed of 4 bases that form specific numeric sequence determining each person's unique traits. Okay. Now, the guy was saying this, and I'm like, okay, I got the research, so I read it on my own too. And in Hebrews, letters also represent numbers. When you enter your DNA to a numerical sequence, I don't know why I can't get that word out. In Hebrew, guess what it's spelled? It is YHWH, Yahweh, God. Now, God is so intentional. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. Now you could be like, that's a reach. But it just makes you think all the way to your DNA. Like it said from the dust, the molecules and everything, it validates what he said. But then when you break down the DNA, what the numeral sequence of that in Hebrew, and it say Yahweh. Now, I don't know. So then I went a little bit further because that's what I do. So DNA, that is a code. It's the code of life. It's like God's signature. Like God's signature is on us. So let's look at that. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I'm just saying. That means we carry a signature. So think about it like this. When a painter, they create something, a creator, you create something, you build something, you do something, you sign your name on it. You give your signature. And then when you sell it, everybody know that it's you that created that. Everybody know. And DNA, which is broken down, the code, says Yahweh. That is his signature. Like, I created that. That's me. But then I went a little bit further. Because I'm listening to the man talk. And he's talking more and more and more. And then I was looking and I'm like, okay. He was like, that bears the mark of our creator. So everything is intentional. So then Psalms 139, 13 to 14, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearful and wonderfully made. Now, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Now, they talk about blood in the Bible. Okay? Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gifts. It says you just reached member level 11, Nana. So thank y'all so much. You ain't got to share or anything because I'm about to get off. Now, I'm listening to this recording. I'm listening to this guy, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm looking. So I had to do some research, too. Same thing. So when I looked at this, blood. Hold on. Let me take this so I can make sure I do it right. Blood. Now, that's in the Bible. Now, we don't talk about the DNA, but it get a little bit deeper. And in his teaching, he was teaching to get a little bit deeper. Let me do this. So, let me see. No, that's not what it is. Laminin. Let me make sure I said that right. Because it's saying that converting it over, it says aluminum. But no, I want to get the right one. Okay. I know I'm not going to pronounce it right. I know I'm not. So I'm going to spell it for you. Wait a minute. No, that's why. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. Well, the ones that's joining, look, we on a research for something. For the ones I know, y'all still holding on because y'all want to know. Because y'all nosy. Hold on. I told you I'd be on some stuff. Anyway, I'm just going to say like this. It has a component in it. It's the component that's in blood. Anyway, so blood is the Bible symbol of life. It contains a molecule. And I cannot pronounce this I can't pronounce this word. And the reason why I can't pronounce it because I spelt it how it sounds. And I know it's like laminum. But anyway, it's in blood. Now, that component, right, that molecule, without it, cells can't bond. The cells together can't bond in the blood, which will cause you, the scientists study that it'll cause you to die. Like life can't sustain itself. It'll cause you to die out. So it has to have that molecule in your blood for it to bond, right? But when you pull it, oh God, this is so mad. I got to find the name. I'll find it and put it on the next slide. But when the way he broke it down and he said it and he showed it, when you put that molecule under the microscope, guess what it shows? Well, you ain't going to guess because we on live and I'm doing most of the talking. A cross. It shows in the shape of a cross. Every time you put that molecule in there, it shows up a shape of a cross. So it made me think of John 14:6. Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life. And this is what the guy was saying. The cross is a symbol of salvation, and it's etched into the structure of the blood. Like, that's where it is. Like, he has put his signature all through us. So it's no denying. That's why it says the kingdom of God is within you. Everything that you need is within you because he's there. He already stamped that. So, from the beginning, God gave us life. Sin separated us from him. But the blood of Jesus brought us back. So that's why when we talk about blood, it's kind of like he gave us the life. He did all that. And then we separated our ancestors, right? And through the blood of Christ, he sacrificed us. That is God's signature again. That's why blood, when they talk about blood, think about it now when you think about it. Even when they would take stuff to the altar, the blood. So that's just my research, right? I told y'all I go deep and I get to find some things and I be trying to get a full understanding of what's going on. Yep. And so the one that I was telling y'all about was with Isaiah, of how he, prophesied and predicted that when Jesus was going to be born, when Jesus was going to die. And the thing is, though, let me see. I want to make sure. I got so much study. Even when the day, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the lost day. It's a whole lot of stuff. So that's why I say when you break away and get out of the matrix and you get in the void. But the problem is when you get in the void, right? That's when people awaken and realize that what they were taught were all lies, what they were, what was spoke to them, or what was taught to them, the religion that they were in, that wasn't right. The void it's kind of a dangerous place. This is that place where you have your free will. When they say you got free will to do, no, I believe that this is that free will. What are you going to believe? What God are you going to believe? Which way are you going to go? Are you going to go back to what you knew? Are you going to stand firm and just get connected to me like you're supposed to be? Or are you going to, because there's other deities out there, there's other gods out there, with lowercase g's out there that are just sitting and just, enticing you with these different things. And then you hear the younger generation talking about my ancestors. Well, listen, I thank God that, it was people before me that had to pave the way. See, when people think of ancestors, they don't go all the way back. They go as far back, maybe to slavery, maybe to, Martin Luther King and them, maybe to this, that, I don't know. But they're not going back to the beginning, when Eve ate the apple, back to the beginning. Those are our ancestors. When you go all the way back there, somewhere it got connected. When they start worshiping idols, when they start worshiping these things, which caused us in this time to have our free will of speech, and we can do what we want to do. We can pray to whoever we want to pray to. We can do, and gave us that freedom, right? They gave us that freedom because they went against God's laws. So those ancestors, when y'all calling up all these ancestors, talking about I'm calling up my ancestors, I want to be like my ancestors. I don't, you know what? Thank you for everything that you've done for me. But you left me fighting for my bloodline now. You left me breaking generational curses, right? Thank you for going through that. But I'm not going to call you for help because you can't help me break the curse because you are the one who started the curse. So now I have to unravel these things and make sure we bring the inheritance back to our bloodline. Make sure we heal the bloodline. So I have to break all these different curses that have been put on us, told us that we wasn't going to amount to nothing, told us that we wasn't royalty, told us that we wasn't, God's children, told us. I got to break all that. I got to do that. So no, I'm not calling on you. I'm going to call on the Holy Spirit. I need you to help me figure out and help me, guide my footsteps. Tell me and show me what the right next step look like and what's right. Because you can take a step and it be in your own understanding. I'm at the point now that I don't want to do nothing unless he tell me to. I don't want to, I find peace in studying because when I'm studying, I don't have the chaos and the dramas of the world. I'm not worrying about, if I'm going to get a man. I really, at this point, I don't even want just any kind of husband because the level of knowledge that I'm receiving now and the downloads and understanding and the level that I am now, spiritually, I can't have any interruptions. Either you gonna know what's going on and you're gonna help me do my Father's business, or you gonna be in my way. And I don't want nothing in my way right now. So I can't just be with anybody. See, it's when you start healing and you understand what your job and your purpose is that you realize that you just can't be with anybody. Everybody is not the same. Don't get it twisted. Some of y'all purpose may be to just your kingdom spouse, and that is to be the ones on the front line when people look at like, oh, those are goals. I want to be like them. You're supposed to bring them, show them what love is, to bring love back into the world, and what a companion and what a husband and wife look like. Maybe that's your job. Maybe my job is to just go out here and teach this. At the end of the day, what we're teaching all goes together because it all stems from love. It's teaching you how to go deep. So me sharing with you how deep I go down my rabbit hole. This is not me saying you got to believe this. This is what it is. This is the truth. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to get you to understand is I go so deep with finding the what is this Bible saying, breaking down words, understanding what those words mean. It does not mean that everything that I read that I absorb and say this is facts. No, because I have to understand. God would not allow me to be at this place that I can be this knowledgeable and be able to break down and understand things if he didn't think that I was ready. Everybody will never get to that point because of the fact you'll be swayed by anything. I'm not swayed by anything. There's knowledge, okay? I'm going to process what I need to process and get rid of what I don't need. But what I shared is not for you to go and say, nope, 666 means this. No, that's not what that means. That means to show you that that's how deep you have to get in your word. It's not just surface reading. You have to get in your word because he's going to reveal something to you. The book is the biggest prophecy there is. The book, the Bible, is what I'm meaning by the book. The Bible will give you everything you need. It's secrets in there, and only with your spiritual eye will you be able to see those. Now, you can't just open it up and start researching and force yourself to understand stuff. Just pick up stuff and start picking it apart. Then you'll be of a person, of a lover of yourself. And because you have to be shown that, hey, I know this, and then you become self-centered, and then you operate from a place of your own understanding, and then you go out into the world and you teach that, and it becomes a fact. No, you have to be in a place that you understand what you're reading and what you're hearing different people talk about and the things like that, that there's a chance that none of that is true. There's a chance that some of it is true, but that is not your job. Your job is to take it back to God. God, what is this? And then he'll reveal to you what needs to be revealed to you. See, it's something when God see you doing your work, right? When he kept having to guide you, just thinking about me, when he kept having to, now you should get over here, get over here, get over here. It was constant calling my name, making me get back to where I needed to go. I kept having Lazarus moments because I just give up and he called me forth again. I come out the tomb like, all right, God, I'm ready. Until finally one day he was doing his thing, and out of nowhere, I just picked up and said, okay, what is this? So it's kind of like when you see your kids doing something that you taught them how to do, right? You've been doing it over and over, and they always calling you, Mom, can you fix? And then you come downstairs one day and they cooking some grits and it tastes good. And you sitting back like, wait a minute, because the first thing you want to do is wait. Then you get proud. Then you're like, yes, I knew you could do it. I knew if you believed in yourself, you can do it. I'm proud of you. That's a God moment that God has been having with me, because it's like, okay, you finally got it. Now I can go focus on whoever else, because right now they all over the place. So that's just a little snippet, but that's what I'm saying. So don't take anything that I teach and take it and feed yourself with it. I want you to take what it is that caught your attention, research it, take it to God. He'll reveal to you. My job is not to argue with you about what's right and what's wrong, because there is no right or wrong. There is God. God is truth. If you believe in God, the truth is there. Follow the love. Follow the love. You'll find the truth. Always remember that. So I don't have my book, but you guys get my book. It is Trinity Walk to Self-Love. It is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart website. Okay, if you don't know, you can go on my bio and it'll be in my link, or just go on one of my posters there too. If no one told you today, I love you and I'm so proud of you. I usually come on Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time, and we come on and have our side chat with Nye, and we have our conversation. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to my website. Subscribe to the website as well, because we're going to be doing a book club, and then go ahead and sign up for that so we all can learn what self-love is and learn how to pour into ourselves. Also, go on to my YouTube, what is it? Chat with Coach Nye. Okay, I'm sorry. The link is in my bio as well. And subscribe there. This is where all the TikTok videos will be uploaded. Okay, and we're about to start the season 2 of the podcast, Story Time with Nye. And that's where that will be as well. It's under the playlist. Listen, I love you guys. Remember to pour into yourself before you pour into others. And if you decide to pour into others, if God has led you to pour into others, use your discernment. What I want you to do is never take your cup and empty out your cup. Your cup will always stay full. The overflow is what they get. You are now the storehouse, because the church is supposed to be the storehouse. But God is about to bless us with our inheritance and put us to work in our kingdom business, in the kingdom business, put us in our positions so you can be the storehouse. And that's why your cup will overflow. Okay, so you can be able to take care of others. I love you guys, and I'm so proud of you guys. Keep up the good work, and thank you for joining. And like I said, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Sundays. This was random. So I love you guys. Coach Nye out.